We are off property with Mr. Cash. This is his second off property trip. We always like to start out of command. We're on the long line. We just like to see if there's any big behaviors to get out of the way. You know, is he gonna get out of the car and bark? You know, we've seen that. Is he gonna get out of the car and like run as fast as he can the other way? We've seen that. Is he gonna start eating stuff off the ground? Is he gonna start pulling us, jumping, lunging? Sometimes they walk up to other people's steps. So we just like to sort of get all these big behaviors out of the way. And, you know, we'll wait a little while, we'll be patient. If he does make a mistake, it's a really good opportunity to correct and then direct into heel. So they're gonna learn that heel is always the answer. When there's a leash on you and you're outside, the association is just walk nicely. And that's sort of what he's doing right now. Because of that first session we did last week, he got corrected for rushing up to a barking dog at a fence and then directed with the recall into the heel. So it really just makes a lot of sense, rather than trying to force or hold your dog into heel, to teach them that is the coping skill when you feel like doing a bad behavior. He really enjoys his free time. So far, this is all really appropriate. He's not letting the line get tight. He's not whining. He's not barking. He's sniffing, pottying, and exploring within the boundary that we've set. Doing great. I like that he takes his free time and he's really enjoying it. So his owners are going to have the opportunity now to just take walks with him and not need a leash and not have to worry that he's always running up on something or barking or lunging. They'll have way more control than how they did coming in. Look how he switches direction with us. We didn't tell him a single thing, but he noticed Josh switched directions and he just effortlessly came with us. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. He is aware of the humans that he's walking with and what we're doing. And he's really paying more attention to us than we are to him. Nice. And we'll eventually get into the commands, but we always like to do this like out of command at first, off property. Good job, buddy. I love that he loves to explore. They're gonna have so much fun with him. Line got tight. Did you click there? No. And he felt it and came back to us. That's one of like the unspoken rules, is like you can't just stop when we're continuing to move. You gotta move with us. You clicked there, yeah. So if we get too far from him and he doesn't say, oh, I better get moving with my people, we just click the remote, and that is silent e-collar work. So he understood immediately, oh, I felt that sensation, I better get back to my humans. So you see how we're able to set that boundary without really getting too specific with it. You're gonna wanna drop it. We're gonna drop it so it goes around the line. Yeah, so here's two poodles, our favorite. So we're gonna see his organic reaction. This is why staying patient is so important, not to immediately put him in command. We wanna see his organic reaction to other dogs he sees on the walk. And I saw it at drop off, whining, like lunging towards them. He has a lot of freedom to make a choice here because he's on the long line. So he could, if he wanted to, dart up at him. The whining, correcting for whining. The whining is, I want to go up to them, but I know I can't. And if he was on a short leash, it would present with lunging and whining. But he's on a long line, so he just whines. That guy is so frustrated. So frustrated. We see that guy all the time. The dogs are always pulling him and he's always yelling at them. Not the kind of life I want to live. See, he's yelling at him right now. Yeah, there's kids playing on the playground. Josh said this is the perfect level of stimulus. There's a person riding a bike, a guy with dogs, there's kids playing on the playground. And really, since he's out of command, our expectations are just like, hey, don't whine, don't bark, don't eat stuff off the ground. And don't let the line get tight. But other than that, like, hey, go enjoy. Sniff, potty, be a dog. Check in every now and then. Those dogs are just pulling him everywhere. Oh, poor guy. This is the lovely Williamsport Park. We come here all the time just because it's the perfect place to train. You just never know what kind of distractions you'll run into. And we have a lot of space to do it in. And it's only 5 minutes from our house. Buddy, you're marking and nothing's coming out. Here's another dog who is lunging and pulling to the point, ooh, did you see that, Josh? The guy pulled him so hard, the dog did some flips. Man, people are really frustrated with their dogs.
Because they don't have control.
They do not have control, and that does cause frustration, okay? He's yelling at him, pulling him. Look, there's a better way. Look how we're doing it. Dog's choking. Oh man, that guy's so frustrated. Dog's barking. Notice no whining from Cash because he got corrected for it. They're not going to keep repeating what is not working for them. That guy was doing pull-ups right here with his dogs, but I knew he wasn't going to let us walk by. You know why? Because his dogs would pull at us. Doesn't have to be like that. Guy is so frustrated, and it turns into this cycle of every time you bring your dog out, it's barking and pulling and lunging, right? So you stop bringing it out, but then it needs exercise, and you can't. It's very frustrating. But look, there's a better way. All right, there's a beep recall. Right to Josh. If Josh were to stay still, it would be a recall to a sit. If Josh is moving, it's a recall to a heel. So we train our dogs that when they hear that beep, drop everything immediately and recall. If your dog starts to ignore the beep, you would chime in with some stim. Now, you want to keep using it how we're training it. Don't start using the beep and not expecting a recall. Okay? So don't just start using the beep if they're like eating something off the ground and the dog stops eating it. And then you're happy, but it's like, oh, you're ruining the beep recall. If your dog is eating something off the ground, you should go straight into stim, silently. Beep is reserved for recall only, so don't overuse it. Use it when you need to get your dog to you. I would call this working under high distraction. Oh, he's threatening to kill his dog. Sorry, we're passing through. I know.
She almost yanked me over down there.
I know. At least she's cute.
Yeah, but certain dog breeds, y'all live up in the house. I see y'all leaving, you come out the back door.
Yeah. Yeah. Was she a pug?
She's a pug mix.
She's got a lot to say, huh?
I think she got terrier in her.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
That moves faster than a walk.
Oh, man. Well, be safe with her. She'd probably drag you down if she wanted.
She almost did.
Yeah.
If I would have lost my footing, I would have let go of this.
Yeah.
Myself, and she would have been gone.
Oh, my gosh.
She's gotten this on me twice. Because she's saw a squirrel and I didn't see it first.
Yeah.
And she took off on me and I wasn't prepared. And it
Oh.
pushed the thing right out of my hand.
How'd you get her back?
I slowly followed her.
Well, be safe, all right?
I'm trying.
Bye, honey.
I hate just to put her out on the weeds in the yard. See, look at that dog. She could do that.
Well, we're training him. He couldn't.
That's a smart breed to train.
Yeah, he couldn't do that last week.
Right here. See, the dog don't want you. Come on.
Aw,
Believe it or not, for a 20-pound dog, she's cool.
I believe it.
Especially with someone who can't walk real well anyway. Now,
She-
see?
She probably just lays around at home, doesn't she? She just lay around at home?
And chase a,
The cat?
no, she don't have a cat. She had a cat when she was a pup.
Aw.
Laser light.
Oh.
Cat like a cat all day long.
Well, have a good rest of your day. Another beep. Now notice Josh stays still this time, so the expectation is to come and stay.
Stay.
That was great. Stay is hard. Stay is hard. It takes away their freedom of movement, and they don't want to give that up. Okay, we released him. Back to free time, but notice he's still not allowed to run up to that dog. If he started running up to that dog, he would get stem and then a recall if needed. Was that a beep? Oh, okay. I thought I heard a beep. We're in town walking with Cash. Little person walking by there, no response. All right, if you remember at the drop off, he was like pulling his owner to anything that was moving. Okay, so that might seem like nothing, her walking by, but the fact that he didn't whine, pull towards it is huge. That is something that is created through training. You stop the bad behavior and show them what is valuable instead. Imagine, the town of Frederick, and they say, oh my gosh, we have this problem. We can't get our citizens to stop running red lights. They're just running red lights left and right. Pretend that's your dog pulling and lunging. We can't get our dog to stop pulling and lunging. How do we do it? So the town of Frederick says, let's install cameras that take pictures of people when they run the red light and then send them a fine in the mail. That punishment is enough to get you to stop running the red light, because you're going to pay the ticket and be like, oh, money is so much wasted money. And the next time you pull up to that red light, you're going to stop. That is classic punishment that will stop the behavior from happening again. Same thing with the dogs. The town is not going to say, oh my God, our citizens are not running the red lights. Let's reward them all. Doesn't work. Now he gets rewarded when he's not pulling and lunging on the walk by simply having a nice walk and getting a good boy every now and then. You're rewarded for not running the red light by the lack of the ticket. All right, we're into a busier area. There's traffic, lots of cars up and down the road. We're on a city sidewalk, teaching him to be domesticated by just walking nicely. That's the only expectation. Walk nice, no whining, no lunging, no barking. Notice Josh's hand position with the leash. The leash is really short, but it's loose. There is no tension in the leash. Okay. No response to the traffic. That's really good. Good job, bud. I'll walk up to the storefront. He's going to be put to the test with people walking by. It's a constant revolving door up here.